Good evening, everybody. Today's the 26th, and I'd like to do episode 27 of the Lynette Hooker case. There's not a lot to report, but I haven't done anything on this case in a while, so I thought I'd give a little bit of an update. And I have a little bit of laryngitis, so please bear with me if I sound very raspy. It's not on purpose. I'm not trying to sound like Janis Joplin. Anyway, in episode 27, it's the ongoing case of Lynette Hooker. And as we move forward, the most important thing to understand is this case has not gone cold. It has not gone still. It is still very steady. There is just a lot of information that is still being analyzed, forensic evidence, things have been sent to Quantico. So there's a lot of different things going on. There's just no movement that we're seeing in the public eye. The Coast Guard's new imagery is interesting, though. In the past week, the Coast Guard released additional search area imagery. These images were later reviewed by underwater crime scene analyst Alex Beer, who examined the terrain, the depth, and the patterns of the search grid. The images don't provide a breakthrough, but they do confirm something important. The search was not symbolic, it was not targeted, it was based on data investigators believed was credible enough to justify a multi-day operation. And that alone tells us the case does still remain active. Lynette's mother and stepfather have continued to speak publicly, and their messages have not changed. They do believe 100% foul play is still on the table. They believe the search results were expected and that it will show that they believe the location provided by Brian Hooker is not accurate, not because of confusion, but because he may have been a diversion. They do believe that Brian Hooker is directly involved in Lynette's disappearance. Her stepfather said he was not surprised that nothing has been recovered. That statement carries a lot of weight. It reflects a family that has been consistent from the very beginning, steady in their belief that Lynette did not simply vanish into the water. She was too good of a swimmer. She was too good of a sailor. She knew what to do in a situation of going overboard. The digital evidence is still in conflict. The digital forensics remain the backbone of this investigation, which includes GPS data, device movement, timestamps, location pings, and as of this week, nothing with any of that has changed. The data still does not match the accounts that have been given by Brian during his interview and interrogation through the Bahamian police. This is why the Coast Guard expanded the search area. This is why the dinghy was seized. This is why the investigation continues to analyze everything based on a timeline. When digital evidence contradicts a witness, investigators follow that data very closely, and they are not diverting from this. The emotional toll on the family is unbearable right now. Lynette's mother said she is struggling. Her stepfather has said his emotional weight has become overwhelming, and that each new development brings a mix of hope and heartbreak. Hope the truth is getting closer, heartbreak that the truth is still out of reach. This family has not wavered, not once. They have remained steady in their belief that Lynette did not simply disappear. And as of this week with the case, it stands that the Coast Guard has completed another targeted search. New imagery has been analyzed and is going to be sent to some labs for some further analyzation. Digital evidence remains inconsistent with Brian's account. The family continues to assert foul play. Investigators have not closed the door, not even slightly. And episode 27 marks the point where the investigation shifts from uncertainty to pure focus. Brian Hooker has not been named in the case and has not been charged for anything. Is he a suspect? Yes. but suspect and being charged are two totally different things. They believe, and it's been confirmed by some U.S. officials, that if he is questioned by the United States authorities, that will probably lead to charges. As we move forward, one thing is clear. The truth is not going to stay buried. Not in the water, not in the data, and not in the silence. I will not let Lynette's story go without being heard. I will continue to cover her story. I don't want the fact that she may have been lost at sea to be lost in all of our eyes. This was a mother, a daughter, and a wonderful woman that just wanted to live her years at sea as she had gotten older. This was her dream. And unfortunately, that dream apparently took her life. I will continue to follow every development on this. I will carefully and respectfully and without speculation give you correct narratives to the best of my ability. I appreciate you watching and tuning in, and as always, I'd love to hear your comments. So have a good evening, everybody, and be safe. Thank you.